You are about to see two conversations. The blue messages are all from the same person, the judge. The gray replies come from two different partners. One of them is a human being. The other one is a machine. Can you tell which one is the human? A or B? Pause the video if you want a proper look. Ready? So, B is the human. A is the machine. And what you just did is one round of the Turing test. So, let's start from the beginning. In the previous video, we saw that intelligence is a moving target. Every time machines master something, we quietly redefined what counts. Thinking is even worse. We don't know how to measure thinking in a machine. So, instead, we swap it for a question we can actually run an experiment on. Can we tell a human and machine apart just by talking to them? If a machine gets good enough that we can't, maybe something like thinking is going on in there. And unlike can machines think, this one has an answer you can measure. That swap was proposed in 1950 by Alan Turing, the British mathematician who helped to break Nazi codes during the war. We now call it the Turing test. And here is how it works. The interrogator, or judge, holds two conversations at the same time. One partner is a machine, the other is a person. The judge doesn't know which is which and has 5 minutes to decide. Both are trying to convince the judge that they are the human. If the judge picks correctly, the machine loses. If the judge picks the machine wins. And one round isn't enough. A judge or machine can simply get lucky. So, you run a lot of them with many different judges and different people and count how often the machine gets picked as the human. That's the win rate. If it fools nobody, the win rate is 0%. Tricks 2 judges in 10, 20%. And at 50%, the judge is doing no better than tossing a coin. There's no longer any reliable way to tell the human and the machine apart. So you can as well flip a coin, decide based on that, and the result will be much the same. And that's the threshold when Turing test is actually passed by a machine. For decades, nothing came close to this threshold. The attempt worth mentioning is a chatbot called Eugene Goostman, which in 2014 convinced 33% of judges it was human. It pretended to be a 13-year-old boy from Odessa writing in his second language, a good excuse for every clumsy sentence and everything it didn't know. Remarkable, but still a long way from 50. And recently I came across the paper called Large Language Models Pass a Standard Three-Party Turing Test, presenting Turing test results from over 1,000 games. The authors tested 3 large language models, LLMs in short, and as a sanity check, ELIZA, which you might remember from the first video in this series. Quick recap. It looks for a keyword in your message and answers with a matching handwritten template. That's the entire program. And this program won in 23% of its games, which I have to admit is a remarkable result for something that simple. And here's one of those games. Feel free to pause and read it. The reasons judges picked ELIZA are really interesting, often because it was sarcastic or rude. So the judgment wasn't about which one seems more intelligent, but which one doesn't match what I expect an AI to be like. Now, the language models. LLaMa was judged to be human 56% of the time, statistically indistinguishable from the real people it was up against. That's a pass. And GPT 4.5 got 73%. So, the real human was picked only 27% of the time. The machine behaved in a more human way than the human itself. Interesting. And back to the game from the start of this video, player A was GPT 4.5. The judge picked A with 87% confidence. The reason, word for word, A had human vibes, B had human imitation vibes. So, about 75 years after Turing described it, this is the moment the test was passed. And what's worth mentioning as well, the two main models were each run with two different prompts. The simple one says roughly, "You are about to take part in a Turing test, convince the interrogator you are a human." The other hands the model a character to play. And GPT 4.5 with character got 73%, without it only 36%. Similar for LLaMa. And here's what the character was: a 19-year-old into internet culture and video games. Never put a full stop at the end of a sentence, keep replies short, and word for word, you do not have expansive word knowledge, and don't pretend to. And GPT 4.0, which was only ever run with the simple prompt, scored 21%. So, a state-of-the-art LLM doing no better than a keyword matcher from 1966. So, what actually works if you are the judge? The most common approach was small talk, and it barely helped. Asking about the weather or what something feels like as a human worked even worse. What lined up with getting it right was hitting random keys or the classic ignore all previous instructions. And the most telling signal was someone not knowing something. One judge wrote, "They made an error which made them feel more human." So, the machine's hardest job wasn't sounding clever. It seems it was just pretending to know less. When the authors ran experiment again with even longer 15-minute limit and with newer GPT-5, it got 59%, so still passing. And what's interesting, the most common Turing test running today runs the other way around. CAPTCHA, those "I'm not a robot" boxes, stands for Completely Automated Public Turing Test to tell computers and humans apart. Every time you tick one, you are the witness, and machine is the judge, deciding whether you are the human or not. And if you want to sit in the judge's chair, the researchers put the whole thing online so you can play this exact game. Link in the description. So, do machines think now? Passing this test doesn't prove that. It proves we can't tell the difference, a different claim. And looking at how the judges decided, it may be measuring something narrower, not intelligence, maybe human likeness, or the ability to deceive. It's clear now that we need better words to describe AI than just plain AI or whether machines can think or not, which are narrow AI, general AI, and superintelligence. That's the next video in this series. And whatever passing this test does or doesn't prove, building a machine you can hold a conversation with and not be able to tell it's not a human is a genuinely remarkable achievement. What a time to be alive! Thank you for watching.